Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Kelly Canyon's final day. Super excited to have you with us. Please like, subscribe, follow, share this out. I'm looking at the service, and it looks like it's been kind of all over the place. So I really hope that the stream is clean for you guys. I guess we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments where you guys are watching from, who you're cheering on. It's going to be an interesting day. We're going to have two parts today. One will be this morning time in which we do have the finals that are happening, and then we will have this evening that we'll be filming as well. Last year we did have some difficulties filming with those spotlights. I'm hoping that with your guys' patience we'll get that resolved. It might take a minute for us to do that. And then, well, they're housekeeping items. Oh, we set up another camera, and hopefully this holds up in the weather, but we actually have the top half. And then I added this zoom part to it. Not the best quality because I'm zooming in on what was already there. But we can at least see the top half. And it is pretty fascinating, this top area. I went up there last night, check it out, and then I went up there this morning to set up the camera, and they have lots of really cool bumps and jumps and things up there that caused havoc last time. Sounds like they're getting ready. We're going to Pro Senior stock, kick us off with Lane Stink, and then we're going to have Dave Shizen, Alan Parks, and Farron Gilbert were your first four racers in this class. Again, really awesome to have you guys with us today. Let your peeps know that we are going to be up here all day long. I don't anticipate a lot of downtime like yesterday, but this time we have that second camera going. And you can see that right there. So they just started the red lane. We're waiting for that blue lane to kick off. And who knows, maybe I'll go set up another that second camera a little bit closer to the starting line to give you a little bit different perspective, or maybe even get a little bit by gate 2 or something, just so that we have some different angles. Hopefully you guys like that. Again, let us know in the comments where you're watching from and who you're cheering on. Bear with us with the internet. I'm not sure if it's because we're right next to this mountainside or what. We're getting good speeds, but I don't know, it's showing a struggle with the connection. It's weird how to say that. So I'm pretty sure right now if I went online it's going to be choppy. And please let me know in the comments about that. And also, you know, like maybe the racer that you're seeing on the hill, just so I kind of know where you're at. So now we have number 357, Lane Stank on the hill. Lane is from Menominee, Wisconsin, on a Polaris. And we're going to be playing around with that lighting a little bit as the day goes through. Just because this overcast is all over the place. And it is windy. It is a bit dirty, muddy. It's been quite the adventure. Okay, so you see the lane getting up to that second, or that top area. That is gate 9. And then we have that camera right there. Now we can watch Lane all the way to the very top, which is really cool. I don't think this view is very clear, just because I zoomed in. Yeah, that looks really pixelated. It's because I'm really zoomed in. This camera was not meant for a long view like this. But at least we can now track his little pixelated body going up that hill. Lane Stank, first racer on the hill today, number 357, kicking us off in our 50 and over class. This is a pro senior. Next up will be Dave Shizen. Then we'll have Ellen Parks and Farron Gilbert. Lane Stank making his way up there. Going to camera one now. There we go. Lane Stank with a 1:45.34. 1:45.34 for Lane Stank. Now we have Dave Shizen on a skidoo from Sycamores, British Columbia, Canada. And there's a post in Facebook right now about me commentating for Jackson, and I'm getting a really good response. Oh, I didn't see that jump right there. There's a little bit of a ledge right there before. It's the old track, actually. So they're having to jump across that old track. And as we know, those old tracks are never easy to work with. Dave Shizen getting into that upper 2/3. There he is. Oh, and we got a nice little face shot right there. Yeah, I know that looks a lot better. Having that second camera up there. There's so much to this hill. And I actually, last year, we couldn't see the top area. And that was a new experience for us. So we have Dave Shizen getting to that, up by that final stretch there. Jump back to the starting line where we're going to see number 116. Is that 169?
No, 69.
Oh, 69. Alan Parks on a player from Island Park, Idaho. He is our third racer. So far, everything's been quite smooth this morning. The snow is pretty stiff up there. There is a little bit of fresh snow today, just an inch or two, but that's going to be cleaned off really quickly. Alan Park's now on the hill and having issues just right off the bat. What is that? Can you go up a little bit just so we can see that gate, Tammy? So that is just right below gate 4. And let's see if our replay is working. Oh, is that 3? Oh, 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's 3. Keith Bailey should be on. I love those knuckles. Keith Bailey should be on Blue Lane today. And we will be covering. So it's a one lane, I believe, this evening. And we'll be covering both. Are they running red this morning? Period?
Yeah, a couple of classes.
Okay, so they're doing a few classes this morning.
I think just 700.
Look at that track kick out. That's always a big concern when you're trying to throw the sled like that on a ski resort.
2.8.
2.8. 2.8 for Dave. So Keith Bailey is in our next class. He's the 11th racer. So okay, next up will be Fearless Farron Gilbert, number 115, on a skidoo from Cascade, Idaho. Then we're going to have Jim Ames, Jim Marshall, and Scott Long. There he is. Green light to go. Fearless Farron Gilbert making his way up the hill right now. Looking pretty smooth so far. Okay, getting up towards gate 9. We'll transition. There he is. Woo! Zooming out there. This lens is a bit wide. We don't have a good zoom on that, so it's a little pixely, but we got a nice view there. A lot better than not having a view altogether. So far, we've had, this is our, what, 4th racer? And, yep, this is our 4th, and 2 have made it up and over so far. And I'm really glad that camera is actually a little ways from us. So it's really nice to see that. Okay, he's going to get a time of, waiting for that to come in. Hopefully any minute we'll get a time there. 1:26.61, 1:26.61. And that's your new fast time in this Pro Senior stock. You have Farron, Dave Shizen, Lane Stink in those top 3. And now we have number 65, Jim Ames from Perry, Utah, sliding out there, but he's hanging on to it and got going again. And he's now needing to really make up that time. So they're jumping over that old rut, about 4. But yeah, right below 3, they're trying to keep that speed. And that's it's very deceiving on how steep that hill is right there. It's a pretty quick climb. Okay, getting up towards gate 9. Jim Ames on the hill. 5th racer. There are 9 racers total in this one. So after Jim Ames will be Jim Marshall, Scott Long, Brad Sharp, and then Tim Mackey will wrap up this class. But yeah, Jim Ames on a scooter from Perry, Utah. This is his 2nd race that he's been to. I guess he's ridden with a lot of other racers back in the day. And Tammy thinks he may have raced in the past. Okay, Jim Marshall on the starting line right now. Number 47. Waiting for that green light to go. This is Senior Jim Marshall. I told him what his nickname was earlier or last night. He understood it, got it. So when you see him, call him Senior Jim Marshall. See if he gets a good laugh out of it. But he is the oldest racer in Rimshaw by 2 months. He has Farron by 2 months. And those two love to go back and forth. They always like to outdo each other. So Jim Ames got a 1:28.16, 1:28.16 for Jim Ames. And then that puts him in that 2nd spot. Jim Marshall. Oh, man, that's not good. Hopefully he didn't take out that gate. He took that really sharp for some reason.
The gate's still there.
Tammy says the gate's still there, so he might be just fine. But so Jim Marshall's still going up. Hopefully he didn't get that gate 9. Zigzagging up there. Let's see if we can get that even more zoomed in. I don't know how to best do this. Properties. But yeah, that Jim Marshall making his way up and over. Let's go back to our first camera here. Okay, Jim Marshall taking that lead spot right now, 122.07, 122.07. Now we have highlighter Long on the hills, Scott Long. Love his bright highlighter yellow helmet. I'm hoping his family's watching. Scott Long oftentimes has his wife at the starting line with them, and This year it's a little bit different. Usually his daughter races, and well, she decided to not race this year. A little distracted, which makes sense. Yeah, she got engaged. So we wish her the best, and hopefully we'll see her in the upcoming years. But he's in first right now. Oh, give me a sec, I'll tell. So Jim got 122.07. Tammy's asking what time he got 122.07. But yeah, really great racing family. Okay, let's see what Scott did. Scott just bumped Jim out of that first spot with a 116.43, 116.43 for Scott Long. Now we have Brad Sharp from Moxie, Washington on a Skidoo. I'm curious if we have any Sharps watching. Oftentimes we have Brad's brother on watching. I'd love to know if Brad Sharp had any nicknames. So we can see Brad Sharp making his way up the hill right now. And this is probably going to get really pixelated, but I'm going to zoom in even more and see if that helps us at all. Yeah, that looks pretty pixelated. Not sure if it's worth it. Let me know in the comments. Tim Mackey now on the line from Clark, Colorado, I believe. Yep, Clark, Colorado. He's the last racer in this class, riding an Arctic Cat, number 32. Tim Mackey usually puts up really good times. So we got Brad Sharp in that first place right now with a 112.17, 112.17, 112.17 for Brad Sharp. Again, Tim Mackey on the hill, riding a cat. I don't know if that is worth zooming in that far. Let me know in the comments. This is the same camera. I'm just zooming in. A or B. Kind of like getting your glasses. Eye exam. A or B. Okay, getting up there. Up and over. That is our last racer in this class. Then we're jumping into Pro Master Stock with 109, Justin Jacobson on Skidoo from Montpelier, Idaho. Following Justin will be Jacob Ellingford, Greg Dana, and Dolan Phelps. Okay, let's take a look at that result if we can. Tim Mackey with a 109.24. 109.24 for Tim Mackey, putting him in that first spot. Oh, ouch. Justin Jacobson dropping off that ledge. Kind of losing it a little bit, but got back at it. Hopefully he didn't mess up his rails doing that. Good recovery. Okay, right now they're just zigzagging across that old track, and so you're gonna have some bumps and ruts to jump over there. But it's been a pretty clean course, and it's just going to get faster. They have a lot of classes to get through today. Justin Jacobson, first racer in our Pro Master stock. This is the 40 and over class, and you'll notice that there's a lot of pro seniors in this class as well. So you have your 50s and 60 somethings racing with these 40-year-olds.
I think you raced in 2 of the women's this morning in
Now,
the lane and then 2 this afternoon.
we have number 273 Colton Illingford on Skidoo from Evanston, Wyoming. It sounds like we might have 2 women classes this morning, and then in the red lane, and then this evening we'll have more races with the women classes, and that will we'll be able to capture those. But those red lane racers you might have to go over to Flow Racing to watch, unfortunately. Don't want to see you guys leave, but that's what's going to happen. Gotta watch and support your team. Okay, Colton Illingford on the hill.
Get them both.
And I can't remember if I announced Justin's name. 10680, 10680 for Justin Jacobson.
You don't have to leave us. We can do
Oh, Tammy's like, you don't need to leave us. You can do both. Okay, next racer, number 789, Greg Dane on a Skidoo from Thane, Wyoming. Want us to do a special shout out to Elevate Powersports as our premier sponsor this year. Thank you guys for your support. If you guys want to help Blue Lane Media, please consider sponsoring us or placing an ad or making a donation. You can look on the description of this video for information on how to donate. Those donations go to equipment repair. For example, this camera right here. This camera costs over $500 to get set up and going. And so if it gets ruined, then we really don't have the funding to do it. So we really depend upon your guys' generosity to make it to these races and get equipment replaced, which we will be replacing numerous things this after this race that we've spent their lives in this harsh condition. Okay, Greg Dana getting up and over. Greg Dana is our 3rd racer in this class. There are 12 racers. Next up is number 169, Dash or Crash, Dolan Phelps on a Polaris from Fish Haven, Idaho. Dolan Phelps really knows how to put up some fast times. Really love watching Dolan. You know, each of these racers have kind of a unique perspective. Look at that jump. That's hard because here you are jumping on this really hard-packed course. And I'm surprised you guys don't hear that truck in the background. And landing on that hard-packed course will want to throw you downhill, so really handle that well. Dolan Phelps making his way up right now. The time to beat is Colton Illingford's 104.05 time. That is our first place. And I bet you anything, we'll see this jump into underneath a minute. I mean, we'll see this drop underneath a minute. And look how pixelated that's getting. I don't know if that's because the snow's coming down up there or what, because there is a cloud and I need to stop clicking on that link. Don't need that for whatever reason. That's just causing problems. Dolan Phelps getting up and over with a 111.86, 111.86. Man, I thought he was going to be faster than that. That is putting him in 4th place right now. Next racer on the hill, number 312. 312 is Danny Poirier on a Skidoo from St. Theodore, Dacton, Ontario, Canada. And I'm curious to know if I'm saying that right, if it's Poirier or Poirier or something like that. Poirier. Man, how can I hide that? Poirier. Anyways, Danny's on the hill. Really glad to have you. A lot of wonderful Canadians racing. And I think he's the only one in this class from Canada. We have a few Idahos, one Montana, one Wisconsin, and a good handful of Utahns. Danny making his way up the hill right now. I think he's up and over, waiting for his time to show up. Okay. 134. Zach Wormers on a Polaris from Bozeman, Montana is taking off up the course now. Again, we are in finals day. This is a Pro Master stock. We're about, I don't know, third of the way through now in this class. Really haven't had too big of an issue getting up and over. The times are getting faster as the day gets going. Let me know in the comments where you're watching for and who you're reading for. So Zach Wormers on the hill now. After Zach, we will have Tim Mackey, Dustin Pincari, Danny Johnson, Trent Saker, Keith Bailey, and then Jesse Poxic will wrap up the class. And right now it's a bit overcast, or it is overcast, slightly snowing. Okay, here we go. Tim Mackey on the hill now. Number 32. Zach Wormers getting a fourth plate, or in that fourth position at the moment with a 107.41, 107.41. That camera is holding up really well. I'm really happy with the reception, and you can see the clouds are coming in and those little tiny snowflakes flying by. We'll have high wind later. Fortunately, there's nothing really dragging on that camera, so I don't think we're going to have issues with that camera getting blown over. Tim Mackey make his way up. Got Dustin Pincari, number 101, on the line. On a player from Idaho Falls, Idaho. I do like those colors. Those are fun colors. Not sure who makes that outfit. But I do like bright colors. You know, Jim Marshall used to race, and he still kind of does, with really dark colors until he got sponsored by Castle. And he would just, him and his sled would be just black and gray, and you lose it. You lose him in the trees.
Up there. Looks like a big helicopter.
Dustin Pincari on the hill right now. And as soon as we start losing Dustin, I'm going to ask Tammy to look around the people here and kind of show what's going on. There's quite a few vendors. Just in a minute, as soon as I lose them. Dustin, 101, making his way up the hill right now. It's not much better. You can kind of see that pixelated person getting up towards that last stretch, towards the timing lights. Okay, going to Tammy real quick. She's going to do a quick look over the people down by the vendors. Supposedly there's 30 vendors here. Well, we don't want to lose the next racer. Next racer is 107 Danny Johnson on a Skidoo from Camas, Utah. Following Danny will be Trent Hensaker, Keith Bailey, and Jesse Poxick. Okay, green light for Justin. Or not Justin. Danny. It's funny on how the lighting is just changing. Okay, Dustin Pincari came with a 114.79, 114.79 for Dustin. He's just zigzagging up there. You know, a little bit more zoomed in. Like I said, it is going to be pixelated, but at least you can kind of see what's going on. Okay, going down to Tammy again. We have Trent Hensaker on the line from Camas, Utah as well, riding a Skidoo. And I'm curious to know how often the Hensakers, the Johnsons, the, how did I forget their names? Um, there's another family from that area. Rogers. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot Rogers. But, those three groups are out of that same area. Wonder if they ride often together. Trent Hensaker, really good racer. Number 235 making his way up the hill. After Trent will be Keith Bailey, and then we'll have Jesse Poxick wrap up this class, and then we're jumping into semi-pro stock. And kicking us up in the semi-pro stock will be Blake Punchard, Jet Johnson, and Braden Dickey. Number 517 on the line, waiting for that green light to go. And it is just getting faster and faster. Currently, Colton Ellingford is holding the fast time of 104.05. Waiting for Trent Hensaker's time to come on. We have Keith Bailey from Moroni, Utah, riding a Polaris. Okay, Trent Hensaker with a 106.04. 106.04 for Trent Hensaker, putting him in that third spot right now. Keith Bailey making his way up through that midsection right now. And as a reminder, this these cameras, everything that you see from Blue Lane Media, 90% of the money that's gone into this setup is from your donations. And so I can't emphasize enough how much we appreciate your guys' support in helping us maintain and build out Blue Lane Media. Number 221 now taken off. This is Jesse Poxick on a Skidoo from Friendship, Wisconsin. Last racer in our Pro Masters class. Okay, so our last racer was Keith Bailey. Keith is in the number 9th position right now with a 113.61, 113.61 for Keith Bailey. Jesse Poxic again on the hill. I'm glad you guys are appreciating the second camera. Hopefully that holds up in this weather. It's not really weatherproof, so, but with wintertime, it doesn't get as much moisture. Okay, getting up and over for Jesse Poxic. Okay, kicking us off in semi-pro stock. Number 111, Blake Punkard on a skidoo from Navarre, Ontario, Canada. Okay, Blake getting past the first third. Now through the midsection. And there's a lot of people in the parking lot today. There's not a lot of people around the booths though. So I think a lot of these are skiers and a lot are in the warming hut. It is not the friendliest day today with the wind. And when I looked at the information, we might see gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Not certain on that. Okay, our first racer, Blake, getting up and over. Next up is 701, Jed Johnson on skidoo from Camas, Utah. Jed lives up to his name and knows how to fly up that hill. Got the green light. And yes, I love using that puns. Blake Punkard, 102.63, 102.63 for Blake. If I remember correctly, he did really well last time in qualifying as well as in finals. Okay, Jet Johnson. I bet you we will see sub-minute times today with how close we're getting, and it's just starting off. There really isn't any issues that we're having where people are getting stuck and tearing up the course. Okay, next up, 752. This is Braden Dickey on a skidoo from Bedford, Wyoming. And if you're new to Rimshaw or hill climbs, I'm not sure if other hill climbs are the same. From my experience, they are, but Rimshaw, they have a qualifying day that was yesterday, and they take up to 12 people in each class or heat, and then they race them in the second or third day, like today, and that is how we get our finalists. So this is your finalists. Braden Dickey, looking really fast right now. Okay, looking at Jet Johnson's time, not fast enough to take Blake's time out, getting a 106.81. 106.81 for Jet Johnson. Blake Punchard still holds that fast time of 102.63. 102.63. And that is quite pixelated, but we can kind of see what's going on. It's a little mixture of me over zooming on this lens and snow conditions. So yeah, zigzagging up to that last stretch before the timing lights. Okay, 802 is on the line right now. This is Caden Moroso on a Polaris from Dillon, Montana. Got the green light, now taking on the hill. And this class, semi-pro, they put up some really great times. They are right on that cusp of transitioning over to the pro class. It is very competitive, and you'll see them take on new lines that other classes in the blue line won't. They tend to throw their sled a little bit more, try to rail through some of the corners. That's where you put one leg out and you ride that track against the berm and hold it. Ooh, it is Ryder McMillan's birthday today. Caden getting up there. Next on the line should be number 3, Mason Kenyon on Skidoo from Parkland County, Alberta, Canada. There he goes, number 3. Caden Moroso getting a 109.71, 109.71 for Caden. Now on the hill is Mason Kenyon. So far, it's been a pretty slick. I think there's only one racer who hasn't made it to the top, that their track slipped out just underneath gate 3. So it's actually been a pretty fast course, and it seems like it's just getting faster. I don't know which one's better looking. Is this view too pixelated? Let me know in the comments. Or if you like it slightly zoomed out. We got Mason Kenyon on the hill right now. He is our 5th racer of 12. Next up will be Harper Hensaker, Lucas Conger, and Brett Gingerly. Okay, getting up by those timing lights, coming over to our starting line with Harper Hensaker, number 435 from Camas, Utah, on a Skidoo. We watched his father race earlier, Trent Hensaker. Harper suffered a concussion 2 races ago up at Afton. Couldn't even remember how he got there. And the next weekend at Salt Pass Border Dash in Geneva, Idaho, came back and got the semi-pro key. Okay, Harper giving that go-ahead. We have Mason in 3rd place right now with a 109.12, 109.12. And you know what, for me, when it comes to announcing and stuff like that, it's so nice to be able to see the full hill. Otherwise, like, what am I supposed to talk about while they race the next 2/3? So I really appreciate having this camera up here. Harper Hensaker flying up the hill. The Edwards are great people. Isla is so energetic. I really want to get to know Kaiser a little bit more. I haven't had the opportunity to talk to him, but I ran into Isla multiple times and her father, and really enjoy being around those two. But Isla has just a lot of energy, like that really optimistic, happy, rub off ya type of energy, and her skill is just continued to develop and grow, and so it's been fantastic to watch her. Something that they announced, I think, at the last race is that women's can race the other pro classes at Jackson. It eats up that invite. So if they race it, then it they won't be able to race a women class if that's what they're shooting for. But yep. So Lucas Conger now on the hill, number 456. And look at this hill. This is great because it gives you a lot more insight into what's going on. Going back to Harper Hensaker, he's getting a 106.93, putting him in that third spot at the moment. Um, Lucas Conger is on a skidoo and from Tabernash, Colorado. Conger's really great people. They are a huge supporter of Blue Lane Media and have really helped us finance specifically our streaming services through um, Starlink. Um, really appreciate them for that, and I keep on trying to get them to give us logos and advertisements, stuff like that we could throw up. But I'm just going to do a shout out. Thank you, Conger family, for that generous donation to keep the Starlink service going. Okay, Brett Gingery, man, I want to put LY in there for some reason. Brett Gingery on the hill now.
Lucas got a 105.
And looking at the time for Lucas, 105 flat, 105.00 for Lucas. That's going to put him in that second spot. Really great run. But man, Blake really has a high bar there with the 102.63. That's the time for first place, the time to beat. Right now, it is not a matter of qualifying. It is the matter of succeeding and exceeding your previous, or just the other racers. So Brett making his way up the hill right now. Next up on the line is number 24. This is Garrett Tom on a skidoo from Victor, Idaho. He's coming from a racer family. I haven't seen Bob race for a long time, but Bob used to race. Bob, Tom, really appreciate the Toms for their support as well. Actually, our longer intro video is theirs. Oh, that's funny. So Garrett Tom, when he was just a young lad, raced the 120 sleds. And my nephew Jaden, who this is his first year not racing, raced in those 120s with them. Okay, so let's see, who was the last racer? That was Brett. Brett got a 109.77, 109.77 for Brett Gingery, and then we'll get you Garrett's time in just a second. Next up is David Brown, Matthew Baldwin, and Case Anderson. That'll wrap up this class. So now 171, David Brown on a skidoo from Cabernet, Colorado, is making his way up the hill. And it's fun watching them launch off that old rut. Gate 5, Gate 6, making his way up really smooth right now. Okay, so we have, oh, where is he? Garrett Tom with that 107.60, 107.60 for Garrett Tom, putting him in that fifth spot right now. So your top 5 racers at this very moment are Blake Punkerd, Lucas Conger, Jet Johnson, Harper Hensiker, and Garrett Tom. Time to beat is at 102.63. Getting up towards those timing lights. Okay, on the line is 512, just got the green light. Matthew Baldwin on a skidoo from Wellsville, Utah. Second to last racer. And then we're jumping into amateur stock after Case Anderson with Rocco Neeson, Dawson Ogilvie, Grayson Batari. Whew. I've been having a hard time with that name all weekend. Matthew Baldwin now on the hill. making his way through the midsection. David Brown putting an excellent time up of 104.47, 104.47 for David Brown. That's going to put him in that second spot right now. On the line is 880. This is our last racer in this class. Case Anderson on players from Condon, Montana. Matthew Baldwin getting a 111.72. 111.72. Put in that 11th spot right now. These racers are just excellent. Love watching semi-pro because they're on that cusp of pro, and they push their limits further than most of the other racers. I mean, everybody's pushing their limits, but they're usually taking lines that aren't normally taken. Okay, Case Anderson, last racer in this class, and then we're jumping into amateur stock with Rocco Neeson, Dawson, Ogilvy, Grayson Batari, your first three racers. Okay, Case Anderson with a 110.17, 110.17. Okay, Rocco Neeson, you can see he's taking off his coat. It's getting serious. Number 82 on the line. Got that green light. And he's going. And Tammy's already lost him. Rocco Neeson. He's been having a fantastic year. And I actually learned something this morning that I didn't know about. These racers can race, or not amateurs, but if you are 15 and under, you can race a 850 snowmobile, but you have to have a throttle block preventing it from going more than half throttle. So you're racing at 850, you can only do half throttle, and you have to have something there stopping it from going that. This came up because I think his sled was being shared with his dad, and they forgot to adjust it. He ran up the hill with it full throttle and got DQ'd last race. But Rocco Neeson getting up and over, and he's been dominating this class. Next up is number 247, Dawson Ogilvy on a skidoo from Stoughton. And then Rocco Neeson. Oh, not seeing Dawson on the line. They might move Grayson Batari next up. You need to put your phone down, Tammy. Okay. Still don't have a racer there. Okay, got a racer now. Let's see who this is.
I don't like that spot.
Lining up, and there we go.
They moved the poles over.
Oh, he's racing with a coat on.
And they moved the poles over.
Okay, not sure if they'll get flack for that, but Dawson racing without an exposed number. Ooh, sliding out there, but he didn't pull the tether.
I don't think he was ready.
So he's still going. Yeah, well, he wasn't on the starting line.
Right, that's why I think
So he's a bit rushed.
You only have so much time, and then you're DQ'd. So he talked
Well,
about
they've been really generous on that, and they've been running people out of order if you're not on the starting line. So they haven't been really living up to the if you're not at the starting line, you have 5 minutes. They really care more about getting the time going, so they'll run out of order. Now, Jackson, on the other hand, that one's a little bit more stiff. You won't see that leniency up at Jackson. Okay, you got Dawson getting into that last area. He's our second racer in this class. Next up is 694, Grayson Patari on a Skidoo from Middleton, Idaho. So those that are aware, today at Kelly's Canyon Ski area where we're at is unique in that they have morning and evening races. And when I say morning, it basically will start from 10. It will probably wrap up around 5 o'clock or so. And then we'll probably get back going around 5 or 6. They aren't going to give us much break to film. So Dawson got 124.19, 124.19 for Dawson Ogilvie. Grayson Patari on the hill now. That win is coming in strong. We are currently in amateur stock. About the third racer. Okay, up and over. Next up will be Jarrett Johnson on a Skidoo from Camas, Utah. Jarrett is the younger of the three Johnsons that are racing. You have this is the younger brother, number 71. But these Johnsons know how to really do well. Okay, Grayson Batari came in at a 115 flat. 115.00 for Grayson Batari. Jarrett Johnson on the course right now. There are 13 racers in this class. And then we'll be jumping into juniors 14 and 18 after this class. But we still have a good handful before we get there.
women's stock is next to the wrestling.
Okay, those that have Flow Racing, women's stock is next in the red lane. Women's stock is going to be ran in the red lane. It's the next class. Okay, Ryder McMillan, or 132 on the line, running a cab from Silver Bay, Minnesota. This is the birthday boy. Happy birthday, Ryder. How old is Ryder going to be? Or, yeah, how old is he? Not will be, he already is. Okay, waiting for that light. Jarrett Johnson sneaking in, getting that fast time of 109.30. 109.30 for Jarrett Johnson. That is 12 hundredths of a second faster than Rocco Neeson. Okay, waiting for that green light. Not sure what's going on, if it's wind or what. Poor birthday boy has to wait there. Okay. Birthday boy on the hill now. Got that green light. Ryder McMillan. And I love the shock. You can see the shock. Like, oh, it's green. Time to go. And you can see that they're slowly building out that berm. Especially around, was that 4? Ryder McMillan, number 132 on the hill. Next up will be Richard Wilmot, Riley Schleter, Brock Killer, and Hayden Jones. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and follow button. It really helps us with the social media platforms. It lets Facebook and YouTube to know to post us a little bit higher so people can find us. And what's great is blue. Oh, got a green light now for our next racer. Richard Wilmot. Lexi Free is racing in the red lane now. Richard Wilmot flying up the hill. He's doing really good. Number 4. Oh no, that's not a good spot to be. Big old mound right there. That slowdown's not going to be helpful. But other than that, he's been running really smooth. Richard is our 6th racer on a Polaris from Middleborough, Massachusetts. Pretty far away. Curious to know travel time on that. Okay, Ryder is 23 today. It's kind of funny. Some of these racers, like, especially in amateurs, a lot of racers come from like the juniors. So I anticipate them being in that like 14 to 18 range. Okay, next racer on the hill is number 420, Riley Schleter on a Skidoo from Arlington, Minnesota. Richard Wilmot got a 115.76, 115.76. So currently your top 5 racers in this class are Jarrett Johnson with a 109.30. That's the time to beat. Rocco Neeson with a 109.42. Ryder McMillan with a 110.02. Putting in that 3rd spot. Grayson Batari in number 4 with a 115 flat. And then Richard Wilmot with a 115.76. There are 13 racers in this class. It looks like Riley Schleter getting up and over. On the line is number 43. Is that right? Seems like they are running him out of order. This is BJ Marcoux on a skidoo from Goliath River, Ontario, Canada. Let me know in the comments if I'm saying his last name correct. I don't think I am. Some people I absolutely know I'm not saying it correctly. But I'm not sure about this one. BJ on the hill now. And Riley Schleter came with a 111.67. 111.67 for Riley Schleter, putting him in that fourth spot. Okay, so this on the line is 140 Brock Killer on a skidoo from Edson, Alberta, Canada. Not sure why they ran those out of order. Okay, BJ Marcoux getting a 108 flat. That's the new fast time. 108.00 for BJ Marcoux. 140 Brock Keller on the hill. And that's that weather. It's coming. It's not heavy, heavy snow, but it's starting to block that upper area from being able to see up there. And the tent's blowing around a little bit. Okay, Brock Keller getting to that last stretch. After Brock will be Hayden Jones, 116 on a skidoo from Pinedale, Wyoming. Sweet. Hadley West as a first right now with Lexi Free and Ayla Bateman. Those are your top three racers in the women's class. Okay, Brock Keller upping that bar a little bit with the 107.98. That's 2/100ths of a second faster. 2/100ths of a second faster. Really wondering if we're going that sub-minute time. That'd be pretty cool. Hayden Jones on the hill right now. Hayden is from Pinedale, Wyoming on a skidoo. Then we're going to have Cohen Bateman, Connor McDougall, BJ Marcoux, and Tayson Stoker. Oops, scratch BJ, he already raced. But Tayson Stoker will be wrapping up this class. Sometimes when I see no racers up there, I think of line, kind of like one of those old movies. What's my line? Okay, not sure what happened to Cohen, but we got number 202, Connor McDougall, on a skidoo from Thassalon, Ontario, Canada. Again, we're going to be filming today, and then we're going, until like 3 to 5 p.m. And then we're going to take a break. We'll come back and watch those night races. I love being able to see this top area. It gives me a lot more insight where people are at. Okay, Connor getting in that last stretch by the timing lights. We have number 390 on the line right now, Tayson Stoker from Afton, Wyoming on a Skidoo. Okay, let's see what Connor did for a time. Right now, in your other class, in women's, you have Hadley West, Ayla Bateman, Lexi Free, and Kenzie Poxick, who's on the course right now. Kenzie Poxick on the course. In red lane, we have Tayson Stoker going up the hill right now. Number 390. Okay, Connor McDougal coming in that. Oh, I'll get back to you on that one. Had to transition. Connor McDougal coming in that sixth spot with a 111.26, 111.26. Time to beat is that 107.98 by Brock Keller. 107.98. Oh, Bree Bailey's on the red lane now.
Just took out a gate.
Oh, sounds like she took out a gate. Okay, number 413 is on the line. This is the Cohen Bateman on a Skidoo from Evanston, Wyoming. Few racers that they ran out of order. Not sure if this was because of him not being on the line in time. But right now, women's stock, Hadley West has the lead. Cohen Bateman, number 413, charging the hill now. Cohen is from Evanston, Wyoming, riding a Skidoo. I think this might be our last racer in this amateur stock. And then we're going to be jumping into juniors 14 and 18. So far, we aren't really seeing any deep ruts. Not a lot of issues of them making up the hill. Jason Stoker getting a 112 flat, 112.00, putting him in that 8th spot. Yeah, I think that wraps us up. Isla Edwards now on the hill, number 82. No, yeah, 82. Rocco Neeson will be leading out this juniors class from Jacksonville, Wyoming on a Skidoo.
You gotta switch over.
Sorry, getting my stuff mixed around.
Spicy messed up on it.
No, it's not. Okay, just trying to get your amateur stock line up. So in amateur stock, your top 3 racers are Brock Killer, BJ Marcotte, and Jarrett Johnson. That's funny. We screwed up on him twice now.
That's what I said.
Oh, is that what you were talking about?
Twice.
Got it.
We got to get the third time.
Okay, Isla Edwards bumping out Hadley West by 8 seconds. So right now, Isla Edwards, Hadley West, and Kenzie Poxic are your top three over in the women's stock class. Zeke Gianetti is on the hill now. Oh no,
Oh, he's still going.
he still has it, but he's not in a good spot to bring it back over.
Oh.
Nice turn. That was great. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Zeke Gianetti flipping that around. See if we can brighten that up a little bit. Zeke Gianetti make his way up the hill. Zeke is our second racer. Auto players from Meeker, Colorado. Up next will be 105, Paxton Holland. Auto players from Afton, Wyoming. Zeke Gianetti make his way to the top through the timing lights. Now we're waiting for the green light for our next racer, Paxton Holland. After Paxton, we'll have Parker Green, Roper Spencer, and then Court Spencer. Okay, there's that green light. And you can see that they're slowly digging out that trench. There's really not a lot of room um, at around the pit. The pit is small compared to last year. And they did that because they wanted to get more vendors over in this area versus over by on the other side of the lift. So we have Paxton Holland on the hill now. Number 105 from Afton, Wyoming, riding a Polaris. Zeke Gianetti coming in with that 131.91. 131.91 for Zeke. If you're just joining us, let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering on. It is a fascinating day with all this moisture that we're getting. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Don't forget to hit that share, like, and subscribe. You guys make a world of difference with how many people we get on here watching. Oh. I just took you to Afton. Whoops. Okay, Paxton coming with a 147.68. 147.68. Okay, so for women's stock, those that are wondering, we have first place Isla Edwards, second Hadley West, Kenzie Poxic, Ayla Bateman, Lexi Bree Bailey, and Amy. Well, I don't know about Bree and Amy Perkins. They did not finish. So I don't know the exact order of where they didn't finish. But those that have times, your top five: Isla, Hadley, Kenzie, Ayla, Lexi.
I wonder what lane is in Wolf.
Okay, Parker Green on the hill from Evanston, Wyoming, on a skidoo. Just getting up and over. Next racer, this is number 26, Roper Spencer on a Polaris from Bancroft, Idaho. Oh, having some issues there. Roper Spencer going to try to flip that around. I think they keep on getting kicked out of the old track. You land from that jump and it wants to suck you down. Roper Spencer getting that pulled around, but that's going to really slow down his time. Sorry for coughing in your ear. So Parker Green, yeah, 112.94. 112.94 for Parker Green, putting him in that second spot. Roper Spencer making his way up the hill right now. After Roper will be Court Spencer, Tucker Hansen, and Cohen Bateman. Okay, so we have Court Spencer now on the hill. Roper Spencer with a 131.31. 131.31 for Roper Spencer. That will actually put him in that third spot right now, which when you think about him flip that around, that's a really good time. Court Spencer, number 8, looking smooth right now. Court struggled a little bit earlier today. But he looks like he's having a smooth run at the moment. And I just posted on our Facebook page for those that are interested. This is the link is a website that I put together. I will be continuing to build on it. It's very rudimentary. It's rough. I'm just getting out there because you can actually make use of it right now. And what that does is you can look at either the individual racer by putting their bib number or choosing their class. And it's frustrating me. I need to sort the class structure. But you can choose the class and see all the racers in that class and their times. Okay, Court Spencer getting to that timing light. See what Court does. But he looked like he had a pretty good run going. Okay, number 12 is now on the hill. This is Tucker Hansen from Pinedale, Wyoming on a Polaris. Okay, Court Spencer now in the third spot with a 129.32. 129.32 for Court Spencer. Tucker Hansen making his way up the hill. Tucker Hansen is about well, he is the halfway mark basically. He's the 7th racer of 14. And so far we really haven't had any hiccups on the hill. It's been pretty smooth. There's been a few issues down lower, which for visibility reasons, that's been kind of nice. Sorry, we've been able to capture your wrecks in a clear way. Um, but for the most part, everybody's been making it up in about a minute and a half time. Tucker Hansen making up to those timing lights. Next up is 413, Cohen Bateman on Skidoo from Evanston, Wyoming. Then we'll have Kaiser Condos, Kaysen Summers, and Jarrett Johnson. Okay. Cohen Bateman taking on the hill. Tucker Hansen. Yeah, 116.68. 116.68. Putting him in that third spot right now. Cohen Bateman flying up the hill. Looking really good so far. Look at that snow. Just fly. Looks like that cloud's kind of going away, but I don't anticipate us having any sun today, to be honest. Cohen Bateman getting closer to that ending, going through those timing lights. And those timing lights up there, it flattens out and they're able to come off the hill on that right side, as you see in a couple racers do. 159 now on course. This is Kaiser Condos on a Polaris from Mountain View, Wyoming. Ooh, a little slowdown after 9, but picked it up. Maybe he just lost his balance coming off that mound. Kaiser Condos making his way up the hill. And then Cohen Bateman had a really good run of 111.77, 111.77, putting him in that second spot. Okay, coming up to that last stretch. Jumping over to the starting line with number 23, Kaysen Summers on a Polaris from Idaho Falls, Idaho. After Kaysen, we'll have Jarrett Johnson, Bowen Summers, Connor Gooden, and then Brock Keller will wrap up this class. So Kaiser, looking for his time, came in the 5th spot with a 122.96, 122.96. So he's sitting in that 5th spot right now. We still have a handful of racers to go before we jump into the juniors, 12 and 13-year-olds. There's 7 of them, and then we'll be jumping into the Pro Senior Improve. Kaysen Summers making his way up the hill. No, probably next racer. Kaysen Summers making his way up the hill. We are going to have a little bit of a some movement going on.
Fair not be even be up there.
Maybe, I don't know. We need to find some fuel. Oh, you want? Maybe we can get a racer. to help us. If you guys have any racers that are up here listening or watching, um, I need to get some fuel for my generator. So let your guys know to come help me with that, so that we can keep on transitioning to the second camera. Otherwise, I'm going to put it on the first camera, and then I'm going to have to go grab my fuel. I think I made that a little too dark. It's hard to tell. Jarrett Johnson on the hill right now, number 71. Kaysen Summers came in at 127.79. 127.79 for Kaysen Summers. Okay, getting through that last stretch. Okay, we do not have a rider on the line, but they are getting a green light right now. We really need to get people on line.
Instead of fuel.
Oh,
Trying to fix it. Maybe it'll beat us up.
well, Farron would agree with that one.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm not cute enough.
Yeah, if we have any racers watching, if you guys have a moment to help me get some fuel, that would be much appreciated. Obviously, we're still running right now, but better than running out later. 723 is on the line. Connor Gooden on a Polaris from Soda Springs, Idaho. Not sure what happened to Bo.
Is anybody in Transit Trailer watching? Hand taker?
Let's see. Yep. Not seeing Bowen Summers. Not sure what happened to him. But we got Connor Gooden, number 723, on course right now. On a Polaris from Soda Springs, Idaho. We are going quickly through these classes, which is good. So 723, Connor Gooden on the hill. Not sure what happened to Bowen. 140, Brock Keller will wrap up this class. And then we're going to jump into the juniors with Colson Tinser, Cooper Spencer, and Trig Jacobson being the first three in that class. Okay, Connor Gooden with that 117.20, 117.20. Not sure how I forgot to announce Jarrett Johnson with that 108.63. Right now, that is the time to beat, is Jarrett Johnson's 108.63. Not sure how that happened, but your top three in this class right now is Jarrett Johnson with a 108.63, Rocco Neeson with a 108.98, and Cohen Bateman with a 111.77. And who do we have on the line right now? Can't see their jersey. 140. There we go. So this might be our last racer unless Bowen Summers shows up. But Brock Keller on Skidoo from Edson, Alberta, Canada. Ooh, look at him. He is hungry. And looking really smooth. What was that?
I'll bet they'll be down with it.
Right. Okay, Brock Keller looking really good so far. Getting up towards those timing lights at the top. Last little stretch. On the line is number 16, Colson Tinser from Auburn, Wyoming on a Polaris. Brock Keller with a 105.90. 105.90 for Brock Keller, putting him in that number 1 spot. Colson Tinser now on the hill. First juniors. This is 12 and 13-year-old racers. Just let that sink in. 12 and 13-year-old racers taking on this hill. Colson Tinser, son of Brandon Tinser. I think he has a nickname of Captain America, right? Isn't Brandon Tinser Captain America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, do you think we'll have enough fuel to last the Toastmasters class?
I don't know where we are with the fuel, but that's okay.
I don't know. Do you want me to run up there and try to find it?
I could try to run up there in a little bit. If that does die, we do have a little bit of battery life to go off of.
What?
We have that battery underneath me. So,
I bet he'll go to the trailer after the ProMasters improve.
yeah. Colson Tinser, looking for that time to come in. Also waiting for that green light. I don't think anything's happened up on that top. Oh. I hope that's not him that like kind of came off the hill a little bit. I think he got a high mark.
Somebody got a 16.2.
I think Colson Tinser got a high mark, unfortunately.
16.2.
16.2. 16.2 for Colson Tinser. Number, oh, man, that is still washed out. Okay, we got 129 Cooper Spencer on the hill now. Cooper is from Bancroft, Idaho on a Polaris. Got a transition. Cooper Spencer making his way up the hill in that midsection.
race in the senior class, so I bet he'll go up to the class.
Okay, Cooper getting towards that end of that switchback. We'll keep it up there just for a second to make sure that he zooms across that top. Because I think that was a mistake last time. So he is up and over. Next up is number 777. This is Trig Jacobson. All these kids are sons of racers, except for, I don't know about Spencer's. Okay, Trig just given the go ahead from Montpelier, Idaho on a Skidoo. I love the colors on his jersey, on that race coat. So Justin Jacobson, I guess retired, took a break from racing. Wasn't planning on coming back until his boy decided to get his dad to start racing again. So Justin Jacobson is racing thanks to Trig. Trig Jacobson getting towards that upper area, those zigzags. Looking really good so far. Right now, this is our third racer, and we only have one time on the board, which is Cooper Spencer. Okay, let's see what he did. Cooper Spencer with a 1:26.28, and Trig taking the lead with a 1:14.74. 1:14.74. Okay, Taven Heap on the hill right now, number 117. Taven is from Evanston, Wyoming, riding a Polaris. After Taven will be Gabe Jorgensen, Tucker Ellingford, and Kaiser Edwards. Let your racers know to come talk to me. If they see me around after the races or even during the day, just tell them to come over. Love to hear how their races go and how the hill's playing out for them. Taven Heap getting into that upper third portion. So, last little area. Let's see how he does. Little pixelated, but at least we can see his little pixel body moving up the hill. Okay, that last long stretch. He's going to get up and over. Next up is 825, Gabe Jorgensen on Polaris from Fairview, Wyoming. I know there's a lot of Jorgensen fans out there. Okay, Taven Heap with a 1:20.25, 1:20.25. Currently, Trig has the time of 1:14.74. That is the time to beat. There are 7 racers in this class, and we are on the 5th. So 3 more. So here we go. Jorgensen, Gabe Jorgensen on the hill right now. Keeping those legs nice and loose, which is good. Gabe Jorgensen going to the midsection now. Doing pretty well, nice and smooth. No real issues. So after Gabe, we'll have Tucker Ellingford, Kaiser Edwards wrapping up that class. And then we'll have Fearless Baron Gilbert kick us off in the Pro Senior Proof with Tim Mackey and Scott Long following. Gabe Jorgensen, last third. Okay, and that last little switch back before the timing lights. We'll see him fly across the top, probably to the right. There we go. Good job, Gabe. Transitioning to the starting line now with Tucker Ellingford on Skidoo from Bear River, Wyoming. Number 237. Gabe Jorgensen with a 127.86. 127.86. Not too bad. These racers are great. So, only race I know of that juniors cannot race is Afton, Wyoming. Other than that, these 12 and 13-year-olds compete at all the other courses. Really fun to see these kids race. It just amazes me, the talent. Okay, Tucker Ellingford getting towards that upper portion. After Tucker will be Kaiser Edwards on a Skidoo from Ennis, Montana. Okay, there he goes, shooting across the top. Okay, number 222, Kaiser Edwards on a Skidoo from Ennis, Montana on the line. Just given the green light. I think he has to take out that big coat. There we go. Kaiser looking really good to that bottom. Coming through gate 9 now. Into that midsection. I bet you anything Kaiser and Isla just play off of each other practicing. And I bet they compare times too.
That helps a lot.
You know, even though, so my nephew raced at juniors, I raced semi-pro, and my dad raced the pro senior class. We were still comparing times. We were all on the same course. Oh no, Kaiser having issues in that upper switchback. Not close enough to see quite what's going on. Hill help looks like they're over there, so Kaiser is going to get a high mark. The last racer in this juniors class. 15.4 for Kaiser Edwards, 15.4. Next up will be Fearless Baron Gilbert, number 115 on a Skidoo from Cascade, Idaho. Following Baron will be Tim Mackey, Scott Long, Jim Ames, and Jim Marshall. This will be our Pro Senior approved, our 50s and over. I'm waiting. Oh, I did not change the camera lens. Darn it. My bad. I'm talking about it. I'm getting prepped for it. Totally didn't switch cameras. Fearless Baron Gilbert on his way up now. I'm trying to bounce the idea off for the super seniors class of 60 and over. Farron Gilbert making his way up the hill. This is the second oldest racer in Rimshaw. Farron made Racer of the Year, Rimshaw's Racer of the Year, and he made it up and over Jackson. I want to say the oldest racer over Jackson now. Oldest racer up and over Jackson. Quite the title. And that looks like it's starting to trench out a little bit. It's hard to tell with this camera, but Farron making his way up towards the top portion. Next up is Tim Mackey, number 32, on a cat from Clark, Colorado. Just got the green light. Tim Mackey taking off. Farron with a 1:18.12. 1:18.12 for Farron Gilbert. Tim Mackey's been having a pretty good season. Andrea, do you know if Tim has gotten any King titles? I think he has a couple of King titles this year. I know he has King titles in general, but I can't remember if he got any of the Kings the last few races. But great racer, Tim Mackey on a cat. Second racer in this class. And then we're going to have Scott Long, Jim Ames, and Jim Marshall. Okay, Tim Mackey in that last little switchback. Watch him shoot across that top in a second. There he is. On the line is Scott Long, number 529, from Spirit Lake, Idaho, on a Skidoo. Tim Mackey taking the lead with a 1:12.98 current fast time. 1:12.98 for Tim Mackey. Again, on the hill is Scott Long. Okay, Scott Long in that last third of the hill. Then we're going to have Jim Ames and Jim Marshall. Jim Ames is on a Skidoo from Perry, Utah. Scott Long getting into that last little switchback. Okay, number 65 on the line. Jim Ames. Scott Long tearing it up. 109.88. 109.88 for Scott Long. Great run, Scott. Putting him in that number one, just raising that bar even higher. Jim Ames making his way up the hill now. I want to shout out to Elevated Powersports for their great support. They are our premier sponsor this year. Check them out and hit them up. They are all about the experience and not just selling you a ride. Elevated Powersports out of Montana. And they have a good handful of fun rides that they do. Not just snowmobiling, side-by-sides, and I want to say motorcycles as well. Jim Ames getting into that upper portion, make his way across the top. Next up is Senor Jim Marshall, number 47, from Paris, Idaho, on a Polaris. Jim Marshall's been racing since 2005, I want to say. His race number, 47, is actually the year, or what his age was that year he started racing. And also, something that he's really proud of is that President, oh man, why did I just forget his name? The U.S. President, Trump. Trump is one of his favorite presidents, and I can't believe I forgot his name. But anyways, the 47th president. So really enjoys that. Wow, butchering that. But yeah, Jim Marshall, 47, now 65, going to be 66 in 2 months. 66 in 2 months.
Yeah.
So you can do the math. Been racing for a long while. Only missed, was it one race?
Semi-pros to the red lane.
.357 on the line right now. Lane Stank on a player from Menominee, Wisconsin, with Alan Park, Scott Neeson, and Dave Shizen following. Okay, Lane Stank on the hill. And what did you say about semi-pro?
They moved all of them to the red lane, and they'll race after women's stock.
Oh,
Not
semi-pro classes
semi-pro stock.
are moving over to the red lane, unfortunately. Is that improving in mod? Because we did stock already.
After seven stock.
After women's 7 stock, and then you're going to have 7 or semi-pro improve, and then also the mod class at some point. But that's the semi-pro classes are moving over to red lane.
The rest will be. Yeah.
So Jason Harris is asking, how do you get a Blue Lane Media hat? You can go to Outlaw T's. There's a link in the description of this video for their website. And Crystal, who runs Outlaw T's, can get you set up. I'm not sure if there's a link there for like a phone number or anything like that, but Outlaw T's will get you set up, and they know that I'm moving people over there. But yeah, Blue Lane Media swag, hit her up.
She's also doing Jackson Hole.
She will also be at Jackson Hole this year. Maybe I should tell her to get some Blue Lane Media hats printed off there. Okay, Alan Parks, number 69's on the line. Alan Parks is on a player from Island Park, Idaho. Okay. I haven't been doing a very good job telling times, I don't believe. Right now, so Lane Stank got a 124.31, 124.31 for Lane Stank, but your leaderboard right now is Scott Long with that 109.88. Great time for Scott Long, 109.88. And then you have Tim Mackey, Jim Marshall, Jim Ames, and Elaine. Let's see, Jim Ames, Farron Gilbert, Lane Stank. That is the order as of the moment. But yeah, check them out, Outlaw T. They are out of Star Valley, or Star Valley, Wyoming, so Afton, Wyoming area. Really good people. They come to a lot of these races. But hit her up, and she'll get you all set up there. Alan Parks getting into the upper switchback right now. Okay, shooting across that top. Got number 37 on the line. This is Scott Neeson on Skidoo from Wilson, Wyoming. And then we'll have Dave Shizin and Brad Sharp wrap up this class. Number 37, Scott Neeson on the line. Alan Parks coming in with a 127.31. 127.31, putting him in that 7th spot. Scott Neeson now on the hill. And again, Semi-Pro has been moved over to the red lane. So you'll have to go over to Flow Racing for that. Tammy keeps on looking over at me to make sure that I transition the camera. I'm not sure if she's making sure I transitioned or if she can go down the hill and point it at the starting line. If you do get some Blue Lane Media swag from Outlaw Tees, send me some pictures. Scott Neeson getting in that last area, the switchback. Okay. Going through the last, or through the timing lights. Now on the line is number 80. This is Dave Shizin on Skidoo from Sycamus, British Columbia, Canada. Following Dave will be number 206, Brad Sharp from Moxie, Washington, wrapping us up in this class. And then we'll be going into the Pro Master Improved with Tim Mackey, Jesse Poxic, and Danny Poirier. Okay, just wait for that green light. There we go. Dave Shizin on the hill. And those that are watching here at Ryrie, somebody can help me out with a little fuel. Would appreciate that. I just need to get a ride down to a trailer so I can fill up the gas can. Yeah, our truck is the tent is secured to the truck, so I can't just drive my truck down, can I? I might be able to try it. Should I try it? They'll probably blow us over if we move the truck. So it's not a good situation. Or I can try running down and then we'll have the one camera for a while. Dave Shizin on the hill, number 80. Then we're going to have Brad Sharp from Moxie, Washington on Skidoo. We're 206. Okay, Brad Squatch is on the hill right now, or on the starting line. Number 206. Just got the green light. I don't know if you've seen it. Oh, there it goes. Brad Squatch taking off up the hill. You're like, what? Who's Brad Squatch? It's Brad Sharp's nickname because he is a difficult one to keep up with while hunting, and I would have to say he's a difficult one to keep up with while racing too. And Brad Sharp just got into that 60 and over demographic. So here he is. I believe he's racing in the ProMaster Improved 2, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Is he racing in the ProMasters? Brad Sharp making his way up the hill. getting to the last switch back. He is our last racer in this class. Okay, Brad Sharp with a 110.68, 110.68. Put him in that second spot. Scott Long going to take that first spot. Going to have a run as a king later tonight. Tim Mackey now on the hill, number 32. On a cat from Clark, Colorado. First racer in our ProMaster Improved. Then we'll have Jesse Poxic, Danny Poyer, and Craig Cook. Tim Mackey now in the midsection. If you're just joining us, let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering on. It's always fun for us to see where you guys are out of. We've seen racers from all across the U.S. and Canada, and we've had a viewer from Greenland a couple of times. Okay, making his way up and over. Next up, just got the green light, will be number 221, Jesse Poxic. Honest Skidoo from Friendship, Wisconsin. I don't know if you can hear that, but Jesse's sled sounding pretty good going up that hill. I need a transition for you guys. I apologize. I have one job. Jesse Poxic. After Jesse will be Danny Boyer, Craig Cook, and Justin Jacobson. And then it says after this class it's going to be semi-pro. But the semi-pro is moved over to the red lane. So we will be transitioning to whatever class is after that. Yay, Jesse. Looking really good to that top area. Tim Mackey has a 107.89, 107.89. And then Jesse Poxic just bumped that bar up just a little bit to a 107.54, 107.54 for Jesse Poxic. Now we have Danny Poyer, which we have seen put up some really good times earlier. Pretty sure it was Danny that did it. Looking fast to the bottom, getting into that midsection. Danny gained that last little stretch through the timing lights. Next up is number 11, Craig Cook on a Polaris from Taylor, Utah. Danny getting a super fast time. That's probably the fastest time of the day so far. 101.52. 101.52. Almost that sub-minute. Putting him in that number one spot. Great run, Danny. Okay, Craig Cook making his way to the midsection. Hey, even though we haven't gotten anything on the board yet, we have Craig Cook on the hill. After Craig will be Justin Jacobson, Colton Ellingford, and Greg Dana. I mean Danny Johnson. Oh, that's interesting. That's not right. That was right. That's Justin Jacobson. 109. Okay, Justin Jacobson now on the hill. Number 109 on a Skidoo from Montpelier, Idaho. Live timer isn't updating for some reason, but so we don't have times for the last racer. But Justin Jacobson looking really good so far. Time to be is at 101.52, 101.52 from Danny. But that's the last time we've gotten. Justin Jacobson getting that last third of the hill. Ooh, that wind is blowing. Getting up and over. Okay, Dolan Phelps on the line, number 169. Anna Players from Fish Haven, Idaho. 103.57. 103.56 for Justin Jacobson. 103.56. There we go. Now we got times. Great run for Justin. Puts him in that second spot right now. Okay, do you think I have time to run away for a minute?
After this class, before they start running, they're doing a 5-minute break.
Oh, for both? Huh?
Red lane.
Oh, that doesn't help me.
No, but they might stop.
Okay, next, or Dolan Phelps getting that upper portion. Not sure what's going on with the live timer. Through the lights, I suspect. Next up is 273. Where are you going, Tammy?
Sorry, it's my thing. Here we are. My bad. I didn't have my machine last.
Okay, number 273, Colton Ellingford on Skidoo from Evanston, Wyoming. Man, this wind is terrible.
Yeah, no wonder if those people, wonder if those people sitting in that black truck could run you down. And there's people sitting behind the black truck. They might
Okay.
run you down real quick.
I don't know, that wind's like picking up every time I try to leave. Okay, Craig Dana is on the line. Craig Gates follows. And then Dustin Grant. Number 789, Greg Dana on the line from Thane, Wyoming on Skidoo. 103.14. 103.14 for Colton Ellingford. You want to announce why I'm gone? Greg Dana looking really good. I love watching Greg because he's a very tall, stocky guy, and he's able to really move his weight around well on the sled. So you can just see how neutral he is, and he's able to control that sled really well. Okay, Greg Dana getting that upper portion through the finish line.
Where your deal at?
Okay, Craig Gates, number 321 on the line from Rock Springs, Wyoming, riding a Polaris. Greg Dana getting a 106.68, in the number 4 spot. So right now, you have Danny Poyer with a 101.52. That's the time to beat. Colton Ellingford, Justin Jacobson, Greg Dana, and Jesse Poxick for your top 5 racers at this moment. We have 3 more racers after Craig Gates. Any racers listening would love to get some support and get some help getting some fuel.
I told him to announce it.
Oh shoot, I totally forgot to move it. There we go. Next racer on the hill. This is number 979, Dustin Grant, on a player from Tibet, Colorado. Dustin Grant's a new racer this year. Came and joined us for the first time at the Salt Pass Border Dash in Geneva, Idaho. Into that midsection. After Dustin, we'll have Trent Henseeker and Danny Johnson wrapping up this class, and then we'll jump into Amateur Improve. So if you're listening, amateurs, get into the pit and get ready. We've had a lot of people missing off the line this weekend. Dustin Grant getting that last little switchback right before you have the straightaway through the gate or through the final timing lights. On the line right now is number 235, Trent Hensaker on a Skidoo from Kansas, Utah. Okay, Trent Hensaker on the hill now. Trent Hensaker has had a pretty good race career. It's really fun to watch him and his boy Harper Hensaker race up the hills. If you're just joining us, let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and follow buttons. It really helps us out. You know, at bare minimum, that would be much appreciated. If you guys are feeling generous and would like to donate, there's a link in our description of our video. There's 2 ways to donate, and all the money that we get from that goes over to equipment maintenance and making it to these races. Okay, we have Danny Johnson on the hill right now, number 107. Next door neighbor to Trent over in Camas, Utah. Danny will be wrapping up our class, and then we'll be jumping into Amateur Improve with Ryder McMillan, birthday boy, Connor McDougall, and Riley Schleter. Danny Johnson looking pretty good through that area. Danny Johnson with a 107.14, 107.14, and that'll wrap us up for that class. Now on the line is number 132, Ryder McMillan on a cat from Silver Bay, Minnesota. The birthday boy. Ryder's making his way through the midsection of the course. He's our first racer in this amateur class. Looking pretty good so far. Okay, up and over. Number 202 just got the green light to go. This is Connor McDougall on the city from Thessalon, Ontario, with a nice loud sled.
Just announced it.
Ryder McMillan came in with a 109.14, 109.14 for Ryder McMillan. I'm a little bit quieter because I'm trying to chew this bar that Tammy gave me, and it's a bit sticky.
What bar? I gave that to you? Yummy.
Up and over for Connor McDougall with a 109.26, 109.26, just 12/100th of a second. On the line is number 420, Riley Schleter on a Skidoo from Arlington, Minnesota. Then we'll have Rocco Neeson and BG Marco. Jennifer, it is my pleasure to capture these races. Thanks for joining me. Riley Schleter making his way up the hill. Okay, Riley Schleter getting to that last area, up to that switchback before the stretch to the timing lights.
Yeah, screw up on Rocco.
Okay, take 3 with Rocco Neeson. Looks like he's trying to keep his sled cool. Threw some snow on there. Got the green light to go. Rocco Neeson, number 82 from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, on a skidoo. We are currently in amateur improved. Rocco Neeson is the 4th racer in this class. There's 14. After Rocco will be BJ Marcoux, Zeke Gianetti, and Cohen Bateman. Hey, Rocco Neeson make his way up and over. Now up is number 43. You can hear him gun it up there. This is BJ Marcoux on a Polaris from Goliath River, Ontario, Canada. Rocco coming in with a 107.80, 107.80. Currently placing him in that first spot. Okay, getting into that last stretch. 227, just got the green light to go. Okay, BJ taking the lead now from Rocco, bumping that bar a little higher with a 105.72. So we have BJ with 105.72, Rocco with a 107.80, Ryder McMillan with a 109.14. And those are your top 3 racers in this class so far. Zeke Gianetti on the hill. Zeke is from Meeker, Colorado on a Polaris. And then we'll have Cohen Bateman, Tayson Stoker, and Brady Ritchie. Zeke Gianetti getting into that last third. Getting closer to that switchback at the end. Okay, next racer taking off, number 413, Cohen Bateman. Zeke Gianetti with a 113.55, 113.55. Gonna slide him into that 6th spot right now. Cohen Bateman on the hill. How you guys doing today? How's the stream? Has it been okay? I haven't been watching the quality, but it looks like it's been doing okay. Cohen Bateman on the hill, getting to the midsection. Next year we'll be a little bit more aggressive at getting the second camera up on the hill. And who knows, maybe we can figure out how to get a third camera up there too.
Stock is starting. Women's 7 stock is starting.
Is that on the red side? Women's 700 stock will be starting in the red lane for those interested. Hadley West being the first racer in that class, it looks like.
Get the time.
Is this women's, you said 7 stock? Tammy? Is this women's 7 stock? Okay. By the way that I've been keeping track of these, oh, the way that I've been keeping track of some of these race results is by using that website that I put together. Okay, Tayson Stoker making his way up the hill. Cohen Bateman with that 109.88, 109.88 for Cohen Bateman. Tayson Stoker on a skidoo from Afton, Wyoming. After Tayson will be Brady Ritchie, Cody Harkins, and Richard Wilmot. Okay, Tayson Stoker up and over. Number 911, Braden Ritchie, just got the green light to go. Brady Ritchie on a skidoo from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Brady is our 9th of 14 racers in this class of amateur improved. After this class, we'll jump into Pro Senior Mod and Amateur Mod.
Probably why he's gonna steal these races too.
Brady Ritchie making his way through that upper switchback right towards the last stretch. Next up will be Cody Harkins, number 998 on a skidoo from Grover, Wyoming. Okay, Hadley West with that 129.65, 129.65 for Kenzie, or for Hadley West. Kenzie Poxic is currently on the hill. We are waiting for our next racer. If you're just joining us, let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering on. Okay, number 4 is sliding up to the line right now. This is Richard Wilmot on a player from Middleborough, Massachusetts. We are skipping number 998, Cody Harkins, for now. I don't know if he'll come up. It looks like he's getting a little bit of advice right now. A little pre-game coaching. Okay, got that green light. No, Kenzie Poxic with that 136.43. 136.43 for Kenzie Poxic over in the women's class. We have Richard Wilmot on the hill now, number 4 in the blue lane. And it is a windy day today. Richard Wilmot make his way up. Yeah, that's when I filled up that tank and I totally forgot about it when or not the tank, but the gas can when I got that second camera on the hill. Totally distracted me. Who? Oh, Bree got 8.9. Bree is going to get a high mark of 8.9. 8.9 for Bree Bailey in the women's 700 stock class over the red lane. 116 is on the line right now. This is Hayden Jones on a scooty from Pinedale, Wyoming. Waiting for that green light to go. So right now, you got just the 2 times in that women's 700 stock class. Okay, Hayden Jones taking on the hill now. Hayden Jones getting up to about that gate 9, transition over to that second camera. Hayden Jones from Pinedale, Wyoming on a skidoo. Then we're going to have Brock Keller and Jarrett Johnson wrap up this class. And then we'll be jumping into the Pro Senior Mod class with Tim Mackey, Brad Sharp, and Jim Marshall. Hayden Jones on the hill right now. Okay, getting that last little switchback area. On the line is number 140, Brock Keller on a skidoo from Edson, Alberta. Brock's been having a really good weekend, really putting up some great times. Putting his weight on the back of that sled to get as much traction as he can get. He's taking really neutral through those corners. That's really good. Or maybe he's just moving so quickly I'm missing it. Running a little bit on his side right there, but looking great. Nice and smooth and fast. He might give BJ a run for his money. Keith Bailey is not. Oh, in the pro senior class? He's not going to be in the pro senior class. Keith Bailey is. He'll be in Pro Masters. Let's see. Let me check the running order. So we have Pro Senior Mod, Amateur Mod, Pro Master Mod. So you have the rest of this class, which is only one more racer, Pro Senior, and Amateur. Before, I think, Bailey. Pro Master Mod. Yeah, Keith Bailey's in that class. Okay, on the line is number 71. This is Jarrett Johnson on a skidoo from Camas, Utah. Got a little hee-hee from Bailey Marshall. Shouting out to her grandfather. Bailey Marshall helped me film a little bit at Jackson last year. I don't think she'll ever do it again. Hayden Jones make his way up the hill right now, number 116. They ran Hayden out of order, looks like. Right now, your top time is 105.72 by EJ Marco. Then you have Rocco Neeson with a 107.80. Ryder McMillan with a 109.14. Connor McDougal with a 109.26. Cohen Bateman with a 109.88. Those are your top 5 racers at this point. Okay, they're running a few people out order. We have Cody Harkins, Honest Goody from Grover, Wyoming on the line. Okay, Cody Harkins make his way up the hill.
Switch.
Okay, so this is not Hayden Jones. This is Cody Harkins that's on the hill. Live timer hasn't updated yet. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a break and see if I can get some fuel.
Oh, this is Grandpa's class.
Oh, this is Grandpa's class, isn't it?
That's class.
Coming up. Okay, maybe I'll wait a minute then. Who knows, maybe I'll bring us fuel too, I don't know. Oh my goodness. This looks like Tim Mackey on the hill, number 32. This is our first racer in our pro senior mod class. He is on a cat from Clark, Colorado. Tim Mackey on the hill. Not sure what's going on with live timer. We are in pro senior class right now.
Tell you the time.
There we go. No, it just updated. They finally got it going. Tim Mackey makes his way up. Huh? I hope so.
He got told by the announcer.
If he heard.
Announcer.
Tim Mackey making his way up the hill right now. After Tim, we'll have Brad Sharp, or as his friends call him, Brad Squatch, Jim Marshall, Dave Shizen, and Jim Ames. Brad Squatch on the line, number 206, Brad Sharp from Moxie, Washington, on a Skidoo. Hey, look, we got a little update on here. Isla Pearl with the, or Isla Edwards with a 126.89. Allie West with a 129.65. Kenzie Poxick, don't have that time because it transitioned too quickly. Brad Sharp now racing up the hill. Brad Sharp getting to that midsection. There are 10 racers in this class. And then we have Amateur Mod, Pro Master Mod, and then we'll have Juniors. And that will wrap up our normal running order. Okay, Brad Sharp getting up to that switchback up on top. Okay, number 47, Jim Marshall on the hill. Senor Jim Marshall making his way up. Oldest man in the rimshot circuit. I believe he's only missed one race in his career. And it eats him up that that's the case. Getting to gate 9. Over into the midsection. Okay, Brad Sharp with a 107.78, 107.78 for Brad Sharp. That puts him in the number 1 spot. Tim Mackey with a 108.42. Okay, make it in that last stretch. Now we have number 80, Dave Shizen. On a skidoo from Sycamore, British Columbia. And we're going to have Jim Ames, Scott Long, and Scott Neeson. Dave Shizen on the hill. Jim Marshall with a 113.22, 113.22, putting him in that number 3 spot right now. Dave Shizen making his way up through the midsection right now. After Dave, we're going to have Jim Ames, Scott Long, and Scott Neeson. 10 racers in this class. And then we're just going to jump over to Amateur Mod. There are 14 racers in there with Dawson Ogilvie, Richard Wilmot, and Rocco Neeson as the first 3 there. But we have a little bit before we get there. Dave Shizen on the hill, getting through those switchbacks right now. And through to the finish line. Okay, 65 on the line. Jim Ames on a skidoo from Perry, Utah. Not paying attention to the timing light. Looks like he's trying to get his gloves going. Okay, there we go. Jim Ames. Dave Shizen coming in with a 120.84, 120.84 for Dave Shizen. Jim Ames now on the course, making his way up through the bottom portion. Nothing real crazy about this course. A little steep at the bottom. It does pick up some steepness at the top, but not a lot going on. Not a lot to report on right now. We've had a few hiccups at the bottom, one hiccup at the top, but for the most part, it's been what they call a speed course. Oh, a little bit glitchy up on top now. Not sure why that is. Getting to that switchback. Okay, highlighter Long just giving the green light. This is number 529, Scott Long from Spirit Lake, Idaho on a skidoo. Not sure what's going on. He's looking at his sled weird. Not gonna like that hold up. Yeah, he really has to make it up. Makes me think of Emperor's New Groove. He threw off my groove. Not sure what's there. He is making it through the top portion. I saw that sled at the bottom. Thought that was him for a moment. Okay, getting into the switchbacks. And up to the finish line. On the line right now is number 37, Scott Neeson from Wilson, Wyoming on a Skidoo. Scott Long with a 123.14, 123.14 for Scott Long. Right now you have Brad Sharp, Tim Mackey, Jim Ames, and Jim Marshall as your top 4 racers. Scott Neeson on the hill. A lot of bumps and jumps, and they're building that course out. Times have been all over the place. We've been really close at breaking a minute, but it hasn't happened yet. We are currently in Pro Senior Mod. Seventh of 10 racers, so 3 more racers to go. Okay, Scott Neeson up and over. Now we have number 357, Lane Stank on a player from Menominee, Wisconsin. And then we're going to have Alan Parks and Fearless Baron Gilbert wrap us up this class. Then we'll jump into Amateur Mod. Lane Stank on the hill now. And those interested in women's 700 stock, we have Isla Edwards in first with a 126.89. Hadley West with a 129.65. Kenzie Poxic with a 136.43. And Ayla Bateman with a 144.77. Lexi Free with a 153.97. And then Brie Bailey did not finish. And I don't know, Amy Perkins doesn't look like she ran. Lane Stank getting into that last quarter of the hill. Have they done anything on the red lane for a while?
They're doing a break and then they're bringing in semi-pro.
Oh, okay. Commercial break. And then they're doing semi-pro over there in the red lane. Alan Parks on the hill now. Alan Parks from Island Park, Idaho on a Polaris. And then we're going to have Fearless Baron Gilbert wrap up this class. Alan Park getting up towards that mound. Getting into that midsection. Alan Parks in that upper quarter, getting into the switchback. After Allen will be Fearless Farron Gilbert, and then we'll have Amateur Mod with Dawson Ogilvie, Richard Wilbert, and Rocco Neeson. Fearless Farron Gilbert just giving the green light, and it got a little darker out. Okay, Alan Parks with a 123.36. 123.36 for Alan Parks. Fearless Farron Gilbert making his way through the midsection. Farron will be wrapping up this pro senior mod. Then we're going to jump into amateur mod. There's 14 racers, and then we'll have pro master mod, and then juniors. And I'll wrap up our normal classes. Okay, our first amateur racer on the hill, Dawson Ogilvie. No. Okay, your racers for Pro Senior Mod. Brad Sharp with a 107.78, Tim Mackey with a 108.42, Jim Ames with a 112.93, Jim Marshall with a 113.22, Farron Gilbert with a 115.80, Lane Stank with a 118.03, Scott Neeson with a 119.34, Dave Shizen with a 120.84, Scott Long with a 123.14, Alan Parks with a 123.36. Okay, Dawson getting up and over. Next racer on the hill will be Richard Wilmot, number 4 on the players from Middleborough, Massachusetts. Dawson coming in with a 114.65. 114.65 for Dawson. Richard Wilmot on the hill now. Richard Wilmot on a players from Middleborough, Massachusetts. After Richard Wilmot, we'll have Rocco Neeson, Jarrett Johnson, and Connor McDougall. Hey, Rocco Neeson on the hill now. Number 82 on a Skidoo from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Richard Wilmot bumping up the time to 108.68. 108.68. That'll put him in that number 1 spot. So that is now the time to beat.
Switch over, switch over.
Okay. Sorry for the lack of talking recently. Jim Ames just came up, helped us with some fuel. Much appreciated. Um, Not sure what the holdup is, but we were just talking about how much it makes a difference when you feel good going up a hill. Just not like physically, but when a run feels good and you feel in sync, and how sometimes you can have those screw ups, but if you're able to transition quickly. Okay, we got a green light, but I don't see anybody on the line. There we go. Never mind. Got the next racer hiding there. Number 71, Jarrett Johnson on a Skidoo from Camas, Utah. So right now we have Rocco Neeson with a 107.37 in the number 1 spot. Rocco Neeson, 107.37. Then we have Richard Wilmot in the 2nd spot with a 108.68, 108.68 for Richard Wilmot. And then we have Dawson Olkevile. Man, I cannot say that last name for whatever reason. 114.65, 114.65 for Dawson. And then we have Jarrett Johnson on the hill right now. That little pixelated blob going up the hill. And Jarrett, the youngest of the Johnsons racing, but doing really awesome. He's been putting up some good times, getting up and over through the finish line now. Next up will be Connor McDougall, number 202. And then we'll have Graylin Geisbrook and then Cohen Bateman. Okay, green light for Connor McDougall. Number 202 on the hill now. That is Connor McDougall from Thassalon, Ontario, Canada, on a Skidoo. Okay, Connor McDougall looking really good through that area. After Connor He is our 6th racer, so we have 8 more in this class. Okay, up and over. Next up, if I can get the right class. Semi-Pro Improved is running right now. You can see that in the timer. So if you're curious, Blake Punchard with the 113 over there, and then Lucas Conger and Brendan Schneider is Schleeker. Brendan Schleeker is on the course right now in that Semi-Pro Improved. In the blue lane, though, we have, not sure who this is. Is this number 26? I think this might be number 26, which is out of order, would be Roper Spencer on a Polaris Bancroft, Idaho, but I'm not sure. Number 311, Graylin Geisbrick looks like he's on the hill. Though I wasn't sure because I thought I saw only 2 digits. Anyway, Graylin Geisbrick is on the hill. Connor McDougall with a 108.18, for Connor McDougall. Put him in that number 2 spot. Graylin, wow, Graylin, up and over. Next up will be Cohen Bateman, number 413 on Skidoo, from Evanston, Wyoming. One 10-20, 110-20 for Graylin Geisbrick. Now 413 is on the course. Cohen Bateman. Then we're going to have Hayden Jones, Brock Keller, and Roper Spencer. Brock's been having a really good day today, I've noticed. If I look at Brock Keller's results for today, oh, yeah, transition the camera. Brock Keller's been is first in amateur stock, first in juniors 14-18, first in amateur improved. And he is coming up. Right now we have 116 Hayden Jones. Hayden is from Pinedale, Wyoming. Ryan Skidoo, and then we'll have Brock Keller, Roper Spencer, and birthday boy Ryder McMillan. Man, I missed switching one time. Okay, it's been a couple. Hayden Jones getting into that switchback towards the top. And through the finish line. Next up will be Brock Keller, Roper Spencer, and Ryder McMillan. So far, Brock Keller has 3 first places today. This is his last race of the day. Let's see if he can bring home another first. Number 140, Brock Keller on the hill. Brock Keller is from Edson, Alberta, Canada, on a skidoo. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and follow button. And if you can, share this out to the snowmobile communities. Right now, and on Facebook is a post about Jackson. Go check it out. We're looking to do a watch party for Jackson. Basically, I'll commentate the live stream that Snow Devil is putting on. Okay, number 26, Roper Spencer on the hill. Roper is, I have to be careful, from Bancroft, Idaho, on a Polaris. I always get the locations mixed up with the Spencers. There's cousins that race. But yeah, get on that on Facebook. Look, find that post. We'll do what's called a watch party. I'll live stream Snow Devils live stream while commentating to it, and then I'll try to figure out how to get other people to join in. I think it'd be fun if some other people would like to chime in and let, just talk about the races. Jackson has a lot of memories for a lot of people. Roper Spencer looking really good, getting that upper portion and through the lights. Okay, so Brock Killer got that 105.18, 105.18 for amateur mod. That is going to put him in the number 1 spot right now. Birthday boy, Ryder McMillan on the hill right now. Number 132 on a cat. He is from Silver Bay, Minnesota. Oh, come on. Sorry, I'm trying to transition. There we go. Ryder McMillan making his way up the hill. So your leaderboard as of right now, your top 5 people. Brock Keller with a 105.18. Rocco Neeson with a 107.37. Connor McDougall with a 108.18. Jarrett Johnson with a 108.27. And then Richard Wilmot with a 108.68. Okay, Ryder McMillan, birthday boy, is getting close to the top. That last little bit of the switch before he goes to straightaway through the timing lights. There he goes. Next up will be Grayson Batari on a skidoo from Middleton, Idaho. After Grayson will be Riley Schleter and Tayson Stoker wrapping up this amateur mod class. But yeah, Brock did awesome. 694, Grayson Batari on the hill now. Tammy keeps on looking at me. Switch. 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 Grayson Batari, number 694, making to the midsection right now. Second to last racer in, nope, third to last racer in this class. And then we're going to jump over to the, where's my mouse at? There it is. ProMaster Mod after these three racers, and we'll have Scott Long, Colton Ellingford, and Michael Baldwin as the first three racers in that class. Grayson Batari getting up towards that switchback and on his way to home. Mace, oh, that's semi-pro. Riley Schleter, number 420, on his Skidoo from Arlington, Minnesota, taking up right now. Nice pop-up color. Nice rail. He took that sled and just really rode that edge, which was perfect. Looked really good. Just hanging out. Let me know where you're watching from and who you're cheering on. You know, the weather hasn't been as drastic today. It's been consistently overcast. Some snow here and there, little snow flurries. Temperature's been pretty consistent. Light's actually been pretty consistent. I'm surprised by that. And it's been constantly blowing all day. So glad that we are in a tent. Riley Schleter getting in towards that end of that switchback through the straightaway to the timing lights. Going over to the starting line. Next racer will be Tayson Stoker, number 390 on Skidoo from Afton, Wyoming. Let's see what Grayson did. Grayson Batari, 111.90, 111.90 for Grayson Batari. Riley Schleter with a 109.46, 109.46. I don't feel as bad missing or announcing times when I have that race result up there, but I am trying to capture everybody. Live timer, unfortunately, isn't giving me the results at the top. I don't know why. And it's very aggravating, but because they are still posting data, I am capturing that information. Tayson Stoker in the last switchback. Okay, sprinting home. Next up, we will be jumping into ProMaster Mod with Scott Long, Colton Ellingford, and Michael Baldwin. Number 529, Scott Long on Skidoo from Spirit Lake, Idaho, making his way up the hill now. First ProMaster Mod, this is your 40 and over class. A lot of racers bumped up to this class. Oh no, Scott Long having some serious issues in this bottom area that's kind of causing hiccups.
We had a bullet. Darn it.
Going to get a gate there. I mean, he didn't hit the gate, he just...
54.9.
Yeah, let's see if we have a replay there. Coming over. Not sure what happened. And look at that. Yep, so he was going through the corner, and his body was planning on that momentum and couldn't. And I think that's the second time he's faced that. It's dead. I don't know if that he had some sort of hiccup that slowed him down last time. Scott Long not gonna be very happy about that. Has to ride that sled down and probably get some help. Let's see if he's going to try to start it again. Not sure what's going on. That's too bad. Scott Long going to get a high mark there, just probably 4.9. Shove that sled down the hill. one way or another. Okay, let's go to ads.
In the snowmobile industry, when we think of the word innovation, we think push.
Hi, I'm Andrew Jacobs, the owner of Big Bear Plumbing.
Okay, Scott Long now off the hill. Not sure. Speculation might be gas. Colton Ellingford, number 273 on a skidoo from Evanston, Wyoming, now on the hill. Colton Ellingford in that midsection right now. It looked like he did get his sled started coming down the hill. Not sure if it was gas related or something else. But he did get his sled going after he got it leveled out. So, really odd. Oh, being a little bit darker out there. Colton Ellingford up and over. Yeah, I'll probably have to adjust that again. Colton Ellingford on a skidoo from Evanston, Wyoming. After Colton will be Michael Baldwin, Craig Gates, and Dustin Pincari. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to know what happened there. Because he had a little bit of a hiccup earlier today as well. You know, I think where was that? That was like between 3 and 4 or something like that. Just a weird stop, hesitation, and got going again. Michael Baldwin getting that upper switch back. Whew, a little windy. Getting over the finish line. Michael Baldwin. Let's see what his time is. 1:12:37. 1:12:37. Not fast enough to take Colton out. Time to beat is at 1:05:32. A pretty fast time. Next racer will be number 3. Hold on. You just saw Michael Baldwin. So this is 321 Craig Gates on a Polaris from Rock Springs, Wyoming. Got the green light. Get a little darker out there. Craig Gates making his way to the midsection. Any Gates fans watching? Craig Gates usually has one or two watching and supporting him. Oh.
So hopefully they're all watching.
Yeah, hopefully. Man, I can't believe this wind has just been blowing. And I think that the turnout would have been better here if it was sunny, if the weather was better. I mean, like if you look out in the parking lot, it is packed. But there's not a lot of people walking around checking out these vendors. Okay, Dustin Pincari on the hill right now, number 101. Dustin is out of Idaho Falls, Idaho, riding a Polaris. Craig Gates coming in with a 113.09. 113.09 for Craig Gates. Dustin Pincari on the hill. After Dustin, it will be Danny Poirier, Dolan Phelps, Keith Bailey, and Dustin Grant. Dustin Pincari getting to that midsection. Starting to go into that little steeper spot. Okay, Dustin getting to that switchback into the last straightaway, up and over. Dustin Pincari getting a 111.79. 111.79. That's second spot. Number 312, Danny Poirier. He is looking fast. I think Danny's been having a really good weekend. Double check real quick. So yeah, Danny currently has a second in ProMaster stock and a first in ProMaster Improved. So not too bad. Up and over. Let's see his time. Oh, it looks like semi-pro mod just started with Harper Ensaker on the course right now. Green light for our next racer. Number 169, Dolan Phelps on a Polaris from Fish Haven, Idaho. Okay, Danny Poirier got a 102.42. Really great time putting that first spot right now, bumping Colton Illingford down to second. 102.42 for Danny Poirier. He was looking really smooth through that area. Dolan Phelps knows how to put up some good times too. See if Dolan can dethrone Danny on this class. That 102 is a very fast time. I think it'd be awesome if we could get somebody underneath a minute. Okay, next up will be Keith Bailey, number 517 on Polaris from Roanoke, Utah. Following Keith will be Dustin Grant, Justin Jacobson, and Trent Ensaker. It says Dolan's still on the course. Not sure what happened. I have a feeling Dolan may have gotten a high mark, but I'm not certain on that.
Dang it, gate 13.
Gate 13 for Dolan Phelps.
Him and Traeger were on the same time.
Gate 13. Him and Traegan were Traegan's his son, racing at the same time. Bummer. Gate 13. Not sure where that is. Let's see. Let me zoom out real quick.
Here we go.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Keith Bailey, number 517, now on the course. Keith is out of Moroni, Utah, riding a Polaris. We got our Bailey fans out there. Keith Bailey making to the midsection. Looking good so far. Getting into that switchback at the top. And up and over. Next up will be 979, Dustin Grant, our players from Quebec, Colorado. Then we'll have Justin Jacobson, Trent Hensaker, and Greg Dana wrapping up this class. And then we're going to have juniors, 12 and 13-year-olds. Okay, giving that green light. Dustin Grant on the hill now. Dustin Grant is our 9th racer in this class, 12. Then we have 7 classes in the juniors. And then let me know in the comments. We have, I think, locals and vintage sleds racing. Post in the comments if you want us to capture that. Otherwise, I might take that break a little bit earlier.
If anybody's watching it.
Because we do have a late evening tonight. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you want us to cover the locals and vintages. Justin Jacobson on the hill now, number 109 on a Skidoo from Montpelier, Idaho. Dustin Grant with a 124.01, 124.01 for Dustin Grant. And then I think after we're done with this morning session, we are going to come back together, what, at 5 o'clock? Is that what it is?
A little after 5.
A little after 5. And we will finish off the other final classes. And we will be capturing pro classes as well. There he goes over the finish. Justin Jacobson up and over. So right now you have Danny Poyer with a 102.42, 102.42. That is the time to beat. Justin Jacobson getting oh so close with a 104 something. Okay, Trent Hensaker, number 235 on the hill now. On a skidoo from Camas, Utah. Okay, Justin Jacobson is a 104.43, 104.43 for Justin Jacobson. Putting him in that number 2 spot. Trent Hensaker now on the hill. So next year is going to be interesting. We'll have to see how the rest of the season goes into next. Right now, trying to figure out how to make this a little bit more financially feasible without causing or keeping this open to the public. So if you know sponsors and people who would be interested in helping Blue Lane Media, please have them get with me. Want to make sure that our 2026 season is secure. Greg Dana on the hill now. It's number 789. On a skidoo from Thane, Wyoming. Okay, who was our last racer? Trent Hensaker. Where are you, Trent? Trent, okay, he's got a 104.54. 104.54 for Trent Hensaker. Putting him in that number 3 spot. Now we have Greg Dana, and he's making his way pretty well up the hill. Greg Dana's going to wrap up this class. Then we're going to have Gabe Jorgensen kick us off in the juniors of 12 and 13-year-olds. Colson Tinser, Trig Jacobson are your first 3 racers in the next class. So that was what, ProMaster Mod that we just wrapped up. Yeah, we have Gabe Jorgensen on the hill now, making his way through the bottom portion. I've seen some Jorgensen fans out there earlier. So your ProMaster Mod class, your top 5 is Danny Poyer with a 102.42, Justin Jacobson with a 104.43, Trent Hensaker with a 104.54, Colton Ellingford with a 105.32, and Greg Dana with a 108.37. 108.37 for Greg Dana. We are now in our juniors' second run, 12 and 13-year-olds. These kids are amazing. They're scrappy and they get the job done. Love the excitement for Gabe. Okay, up and over. Next racer in this class is Colson Tinser, number 16 on a players from Auburn, Wyoming. By the way, Gabe is also on a players from Fairview, Wyoming. After Coulson will be Trig Jacobson, Kaiser Edwards, Cooper Spencer, Dr. Ellingford, and Taven Heap will wrap up these classes. Gabe Jorgensen's already up and over. This is Colson Tinser from Auburn, Wyoming on a Polaris. The live timer is not updated yet. It's hard taking on these turns and making sure you get that throttle. You don't want to tip it over. You want to stay smooth. Okay, Colson Tensor getting up in that top quarter of the course over to the switchback. And up and over. Next racer, number 777, Trig Jacobson on a Skidoo from Montpelier, Idaho. Colson Tensor bumping up that bar to 113.26. 113.26 for Colson Tensor, our new first place racer in this juniors second run. I'll tell you, it is deceiving how hard these hills are. Even the easier hills, there's a lot of transitioning, and you don't have the pleasure of riding a soft snow. You're usually on a hard packed surface, and these 12 and 13-year-olds just rock it. But if you want to give this a try, some of these courses have locals and vintage races that you can race at. I believe Beaver Mountain has a locals race. Okay, Trig up and over. Next up is Kaiser Edwards with 222 on a Skidoo from Ennis, Montana. Just given the green light. If you didn't catch, we have some semi-pro racers running in the red lane right now. Keep on getting the results over here, which is kind of nice. Kaiser Edwards making it to the bottom portion. So yeah, they have I think 2 local races and a vintage. Stocks, local mods. Oh, they're doing local stock, vintage mod. Okay. Well, I didn't get any comments on covering it, so we might take our break and stretch our legs and get a little ready for our evening run. We only have a handful of racers left. We currently have Kaiser Edwards up and over. Next up will be Cooper Spencer, Tucker Ellingford, and Taven Heap wrapping up this class. So Cooper Spencer, number 129 on Polaris from Bancroft, Idaho. Okay, got the green light. Okay, Colson Tensor. No, Kaiser Edwards. Kaiser Edwards putting up a fantastic time of 110.58. 11058 for Kaiser Edwards. Great run there. Okay, Cooper Spencer getting that upper quarter straight away to the switchback. Looking really good so far. Time to beat is that 110.58 by Kaiser Edwards. Such a fantastic speed or time. Up and over. Next up is Tucker Ellingford on a skidoo from Bear River, Wyoming. So yeah, these race, well, about 12 and 13-year-olds. Anybody underneath 50, and they can run at 850, but it has to be like throttle blocked so that they can only use half throttle. And then otherwise they can use a smaller sled like the 650 and have full throttle with that. So a lot of these racers do opt for that smaller sled. Corey, you finally got it, huh? Took you a day or so. I heard some really crazy weather down in the southeast U.S. Just crazy winds that are toppling semis. There's lots of fires happening out there, so tornado watch for many days. So, keep your hearts and prayers out for those people down there in that southeast area. I think Texas had to deal with it too. Okay, green light for our last racer, number 117, Taven Heap. Tucker Ellingford getting a, trying to find his time, 113.80, 113.80 for Tucker Ellingford. Put him in that number 4th spot. Taven Heap is our last racer in this 12 and 13-year-olds. Very scrappy racers. Woo! Talk about wind. We might get blown over. I need to find a 200-pound weight to put in my chair. I had to bring the generator and throw it in here and strap down this tent a little bit more. What's that?
Brick. Tie it to the bricks.
Cinder blocks?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. That has to be the way that they're keeping those canopies down. I'm surprised we haven't seen a canopy blow off. Okay, Taven Heap getting into that top area through that switchback and up and over. That will wrap us up for this class. So your times, Kaiser Edwards with a 110.58, Trig Jacobson with a 113.09, Coulson Tinsler with a 113.26, Tucker Ellingford with a 113.80, Taven Heap 118.61. Again, that's a 118.61 for Taven Heap. Gabe Jorgensen with a 123.33 and Cooper Spencer with a 125.84. Okay, guys, that will wrap us up for a little bit. We are going to take a break, and we'll see you tonight at 5 o'clock. Don't miss it. It's going to be we're going to have some spotlights on this hill, and it's going to be interesting. See you then.